Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Edward Joseph, and let's talk live. What are the streets saying? All right, let's talk. Well, today, peoples, has been such an interesting day. I am here, I am live, and I am going to talk about some things, peoples. Peoples, what are the streets saying? You guys come on in. You guys come on in. You guys come on in, for there's so much to talk about, peoples. You guys come on in. Peoples, what is the streets saying? This is the same theme that has been resonating for quite some time now, peoples. What is the streets saying? That is the question that many people are asking. What is the streets saying? What is the street saying? What is the street saying about all of these things that is happening right now, peoples? Well, the streets are saying a lot. And it has already been foretold to some point in degree, peoples. It has already been foretold. First and foremost, before I begin, I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. And I hope that this day of celebration has brought many of you, some things that you wanted to see and hear and do and whatnot. It's a beautiful thing. Today is Christmas Day. And so we are here, peoples. We are here. We are alive. We are back. And it's Christmas Day. And we are uh-oh, we are literally back with a vengeance, peoples. And you know, I wanted to just really dive into a lot of this stuff because there's so much to cover, peoples. And so we're just going to take our time. We're just going to take our time. I mean, I'm off all the way up until after New Year's. And so I got all of the time in the world and things. I'm just going to take my time and I'm just going to get in here and just do what I do, people. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to get in here and do what I do. But in the meantime, in between time, what I'm getting ready to do right now is I'm just going ahead and set up to where I can put this banner up on all of my channels and stuff. So if you guys give me a moment, that's what I'm doing. Setting this up to where I can put this up on all of my lives, all of my banners and things. So, which is really good. So, we here, we're live, peoples. We are live. And we're going to get into this thing because it's some juicy juicies that's happening here, peoples. And I don't think that everybody is aware of what's really going on. I don't think that many of you are aware of what is going on. And so I want to make you guys aware as to what's really going on. A lot of things is happening, people. A lot of people is going to be brought to justice on next year, peoples. A lot of people is going to be arrested, and a lot of people is going to be brought to justice. Now, I've been sitting back and I've been looking and listening and watching and things, and I haven't really chimed out to the degree that I could have, all because I've just been kind of doing my thing. That's all I've been doing, just been kind of doing my thing and stuff. And so, I said, okay, well, I'm going to go live and things. I'm not going to go live just yet, but I am going to go live, and I am going to talk about these things because it needs to be talked about and stuff. And so the people need to be made aware. And so here I am, people, and I'm going to talk about these things. But right now, I'm just putting this new banner up on this live so then the people can see, putting a thumbnail up on it now for all of the lives and stuff. So yeah, but it's a lot that's happening now, peoples, and it's going to be a lot that's going to continue to happen, and you got to keep your eyes open. You got to understand the play. You got to understand what's working behind the scenes, what's going to work for you and what's going to work against you. And so, you can't just politic with everybody, and you just can't politic and just do, the things that you used to do and stuff. So you got to switch up. That's exactly what I did. I switched up because I've come to the understanding, people, I can't trust everybody. I really can't. I can't trust everybody. And I'm not trying to trust everybody. I'm just here. I'm just here to do what I do, bring awareness to some of these cases and stuff, and, get out the way. Because now a lot is happening, peoples. And, if you don't stay with your head on the swivel, then you'll be caught into the fray. And then you'll be one of the ones that's going to be going down just like these other people. All right, peoples, you guys going to have to give me a second. I got two more channels I have to put the thumbnail on, and then I'm going to go ahead and get me a glass of wine real quick. And I made some gumbo, peoples. Man, that gumbo was so damn delicious. I am going to go and restock it. So what I'm going to do is just add more crab and add more shrimp and all the other stuff. Just make a bigger pot of it and things, and chicken and all of that good stuff. All of that gumbo was damn near gone just in a matter of a night. And that's just only between me and both of my kids. So some family members is coming over and things, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to make a bigger gumbo so everybody can partake in it and things like that. I want to say blessings to my mom. My mom had passed on this day some years ago, so I refused to come and go live and be all crying and weeping and wailing and things like that. Nah, I said, nah, I'm going to get up. I'm going to get in here. I'm going to cook this gumbo. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to have wonderful memories of my mother, my father, and my brother who had passed on. And, and that's what I'm going to do. See, people, as I found my mother at home, it was just me and my mother that was at home when she had passed away. And so this day it's kind of a solemn day for me and things, but as I always do, I press on. And my mother, she wouldn't want me to be sitting around here being sad all day long and things and stuff. She want me to get up and continue to keep with life and do what I do, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm gonna be in the stores on tomorrow because they have some great sales going on. So I'm gonna be there first thing in the morning. Gonna get me a couple of things and stuff, get some house shoes and stuff for my kids and everything. Get me some house shoes and stuff. Get me a couple of appliances and stuff, and then I'm going to get out the way, and then I'm just going to go back and just do what I do, which is what I do, and that's what I do, people. And so I thank God for that. Thank God for everything that He has done, and I thank God for what He's continued to do. I got a new computer now, and I'm just doing my thing. And so yeah. Y'all give me a second. Yep. So I'm just doing my thing, people. So I'm here. I have watched The Lion King yesterday. Then I watched this new horror film that just came out today and stuff. And I'm kind of like, nah, I don't think I'm going to, I don't think I'm going to do anything else. And so all of the fanfare about The Lion King, don't even go watch it, people, because it's not good at all. The new Lion King movie. And I'm not saying that because Beyonce and her daughter is in it. I'm saying that because it is not really good. The storyline of Mufasa really doesn't make no sense, and it was just a dull storyline. So they just kind of threw something together just to try to make some money and things. And that, to me, that's all that it is. And so I'm kind of like, okay, well, whatever, and that's what it is. And so here we are, peoples. Here we are. And we're back live and we're doing things. Okay, I didn't mean to hold on to a whole conversation and things. Uh, so let me see here. I gotta go back. I gotta cut off some of these channels and stuff that I got open and stuff, peoples, because it's just crazy. I got everything open under the sun and then some. So yeah, but we're gonna definitely get into this tonight. Let me see what I can close up. All right, so let me see. I got everything. People. So I got everything. So that's a good thing. Let me see what I can close up. I'm not going to try to close up all of this stuff right now. I'm just trying to get back to where I was. Okay, there we go. Now I got it. I got it right here. I'm going to get me a new mic, people. So my son told me what type of mic I need to get, so I'm getting ready to get me a new mic. As you guys know, that I'm going to be doing lives to where you guys could be able to see me and things. Let me see. Okay, yeah, cool. So I'm do all that. So yeah. So I'm getting ready. I got me a brand new computer, so I got my computer built up and stuff. Got everything brand new and things. And so I'm going to be doing the lives and stuff, the live streaming. So I'm getting ready today. Get me a new microphone. Get ready. Get me a new monitor. I'll probably get that tomorrow. So I'll be live when I go to the store. So I'll probably get that tomorrow. And then I'm going to get a new hard drive. And then what else? Oh yeah, I told you a microphone. So I'm getting me a new microphone. So you know how those people who do go live, they have that microphone on that kind of like little stand or whatever and things. So that's what I'm gonna get. So that's what it is. Okay, so we got our peoples in the house. Hello, Gina, to you. How are you, ma'am? It is a blessing to see you on today. Gina to you says, Merry Christmas, Edward and family. Thank you so much, peoples. Today is Christmas Day. Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. I pray the blessings of Jabez over all of you guys' lives. I pray that God has richly blessed you. I pray that you have been a good steward in this life, and Santa Claus has brought you some good gifts and things, got you some good money, and let you do some wonderful things and all. That's my prayer for you all and all. All right, people. So as always, what I have to start doing now is I have to go ahead and put my disclaimer up. So we're going to put my disclaimer up, and then we're going to get into this, people. Is that all right? All seen in this video has allegedly occurred. We hold no responsibility for what is being spoken. People, that means everything that we talk about on this live has allegedly occurred, and we hold no responsibility for what I say, you say, or anyone else says. Is that all right, peoples? So We don't hold no responsibility to anything that anybody says. Content warning: the following video contains material that may be harmful and traumatizing to some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised, peoples. Content disclaimer, peoples. Content disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in the media or comments of this channel are those of the speaker or authors and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcaster. Due to the social nature of this broadcasting channel, videos may contain content copyrighted by other entities or person. This channel owner claims no copyright to said content. This broadcaster of this channel cannot be held accountable for the copyrighted content. The broadcaster of this channel is a messenger and sharer of information and strives to verify but cannot warrant the accuracy of copyrights or completeness of the information on this channel. If you have a complaint about something or find your content is being used incorrectly, please contact the broadcaster prior to making a copyright claim. Any infringement was not done on purpose and will be rectified to all parties' satisfaction. Is that all right, people? So basically, if I use your content, I'm not using it in a hilarious or nefarious way. All I'm doing is just bringing my stance to that of what you're sharing. So I don't want to cite Section 107 of the Copyright Act because it is in the disclaimer down at the bottom, as you can see on the taper. So that pretty much covers Section 107 of the Copyright Act. Is that all right, peoples? All right, so since we got that all done and things, I'm going to remove that. Let me go back and put my banner up and things, and we're going to get into this, peoples. How you guys like my graphics? I'm getting pretty good at it, huh? How y'all like my graphics and stuff? You know, I'm getting pretty good at it. I thank Gina to you for blessing me with being able to get access to this program to where I can bring, you know, all of this good, juicy, wonderful banners to you and stuff. So that was a blessing that she has done. And I thank all of my supporters. I thank the people who come and who support my channel on a daily. I thank all of my subscribers. I thank God for all of my peoples who are members to my channel. People, we are growing by leaps and bounds. We are growing, and the people are loving the things that I'm doing. And so I greatly appreciate you very much so from the bottom of my heart, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to do the various things that I'm doing. So now, people, let's dive into this. What are the streets saying? That's the question. What is the street saying? So much is happening, peoples, in the P. Diddy case. And not only is P. Diddy is going to get what he's going to get, but there's other movie stars, there's other Hollywood celebrities and things that is going to be implicated into this madness. And then we may have former prez that may be implicated as well, peoples. But we got to see how all of that is going to play out, because the birdie says, peoples, that President T, once he gets into office, he is going to pardon. He is going to pardon your friend, Mr. P. Penis Diddy. He's going to pardon him. That's the buzz. But you know, we're just going to see how that's going to play out, peoples, because you know everybody comes with speculation and conjecture, but we just have to see how all of that stuff is going to play out, peoples. All right, people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put the invite in the chat so anybody can come up if you so do choose to give some commentary to anything that I am doing on tonight. You know, this is open mic night tonight All I just ask for you people to do is just be respectful to me, to the panel, and to the channel as a whole. All of the members in the channel, everybody's in the chat room. Just be respectful, peoples. We shouldn't have to keep hashing over this and going over this over and over again. Just be respectful. And is that all right, peoples? All right. So while you guys are watching this video, I am going to sneak over here and get me a glass of wine. I had cracked open the wine because that's what my boss had given and stuff. And so we're going to take a look at this video while I crack open that wine and get me a bottle of wine, peoples. Now, my friend got me hooked up on this cosmopolitan type of drink, and it's so damn delicious. Oh my God. But see, I love the way that this company makes it, but then I love the way that she makes it too. But she got me hooked up on it. And so, yeah, I'm going to have to go get me a bottle tomorrow because, you know, the stores is closed now, but it's Christmas Day. So you're not really going to find anything open. But tomorrow, oh, yes, I am hitting the stores. I sure am, peoples. I'm hitting the stores, and I am going to go in and I'm going to do what I do. Is that all right, peoples? Let me check this real quick here and see what is this. So make sure. Okay, Diddy accusers. Okay, so let me go look for that Diddy accusers. There it is right there. I'm going to share my screen like that, peoples. We're going to watch and see what this man has to say. And don't you find it ironic, peoples, that the people are finally now coming out to say that they have been SA'd after all of this time, to when you had every opportunity to come out and say that you were SA'd, men and women, boys and girls. I mean, it's just amazing. Why now, peoples? Why now? And that's what we're going to explore, peoples. I mean, I understood what Cat Williams had said, that all these things is going to come out in 2005. Well, before 2005 hit, peoples, it's going to be a lot of Hollywood celebrities' names that's going to be exposed. But we have to see if that's going to be in the superseding indictment that is coming up with P. Diddy, because it is going to be a superseding indictment. And the only way that Diddy, who used to be Diddyfied or dignified, the only way that he's going to beat this is President T go ahead and give him a pardon. That's the only way he's going to beat it. Other than that, he's spending the rest of his life in jail because the feds just have way too much, peoples. Way too much. So let's see what this guy had to say. I played it the last time. I don't think I played it in its entirety, but we're going to see what he had to say and what recounts that he had based upon Diddy messing with his manhood. Let's go, peoples. Let's go.
I was screaming. I was telling him to stop. It was incredibly painful. And he was acting like it was nothing. And he seemed to be disconnected from it. But it was abusive beyond belief.
An accuser speaking out about the alleged abuse he endured from Sean Diddy Combs for the first time. The anonymous John Doe sitting down with CNN in his home to share his experience, which he says happened at one of the music producer's infamous white parties in 2007.
According to your lawsuit, you were hired by a security firm to work security at one of the infamous white parties that was thrown by Sean Combs in the Hamptons. What was that experience like?
At first, he was incredibly friendly, very gracious.
It was something just to get everybody like on the same level. And it was a way for me to get like, you know, my friends from Harlem to meet like some of the socialites from, you know, the Hamptons, and just realize that it doesn't matter what economic bracket we're from, or status we're from. We're all, you know, we're all people.
John Doe first filed his complaint against Diddy on October 14th. In the lawsuit, he alleges he was drugged and sodomized by the media mogul at the party. Diddy maintains his innocence.
Once I was in a helpless position and he was sure that he was in a position of power, then he took advantage of the situation.
You allege that you were forcibly pushed into an SUV by Sean Combs.
I was screaming. I was telling him to stop. It was incredibly painful, and he was acting like it was nothing. And he seemed to be disconnected from it. But it was abusive beyond belief.
Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires.
Diddy's been in jail since September 16th. After being arrested for multiple allegations of abuse, he was charged with racketeering and sex trafficking claims, but maintains his innocence, pleading not guilty and denying all allegations of wrongdoing.
He believes he's innocent. I believe he's innocent. And we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to fight any longer.
Diddy's been ordered to remain in prison until his federal trial, set for May 5th.
P. Diddy has to be in prison, peoples, until his trial. P. Diddy, peoples, has to be in jail until his trial. That's sad, peoples. That's really sad. You know, it's really sad, peoples, to hear that P. Diddy is just he's a danger to society. That's what they deemed him as, a danger to society, peoples. P. Diddy. And it's really sad, peoples. It's really sad, you know, to hear that the brother is going through what he's going through. Now, see, I haven't said that he was guilty. I never said that. Many of you are blaming him and saying, yeah, he's guilty for doing whatever and stuff. Well, I never said that he was guilty, peoples. I just said that they had literally charged him with some things. That's what they did. They literally charged him with some things. Now, you know, all of these content creators is coming in and everybody is sharing their thoughts and views up on P. Diddy and this and that and the other. And I just find it funny, you know, people's. We're going to share another live and things because I have to go up in there and warm me up some gumbo. But I want you guys to take a listen to some of the stuff that and the salaciousness that is being spoken. How many of you guys think that Beyonce is really going to divorce P. Diddy? I mean, divorce Jay-Z. You know, and how many of you people think that they're going to be able to connect what happened to Kim Porter to Diddy and Jay-Z and what happened to Aaliyah? Do you think that they're going to be able to, you know, have them connected to those cases and stuff? I mean, how many people believe that? I for one, believe that some higher ups, higher than Diddy, is going to come out. I do believe that, people. I really do believe that. I do believe that we are going to see some names. We're going to see some things that is just going to be mind-blowing. Mind-blowing, peoples. And it's just going to be incredible. I mean, it's just absolutely going to be incredible. Okay, well, there's my alarm. All right. So I haven't really seen anything new under the sun in the news. It's just the recirculated stuff that has been going on. That has been going on, you know, on all of these channels and stuff. But We're going to take a look at Law and Crime when it says that P. Diddy actually assaulted woman at exclusive black thing. This just came out just a day ago and stuff. And so, you know, things is ramping up, people. I mean, things is ramping up. This is the first Christmas that P. Diddy had to stay in prison. You know, more things is coming out about P. Diddy that we're going to listen to and stuff. We're going to get into that of what the attorney had filed Busby, you know, because in that particular lawsuit is when they start to outline all of the actual things he's supposed to have did with the young people. But see, I want you to understand something, peoples. That is his court filings of what he said Diddy had did to the young people. But as far as the actual charges up against Diddy, they never mentioned anything about the young people. So that's the stark contrast right there. So, you know, you just don't get the two mixed up. Those are civil suits. But we have to look at the criminal suit. And so people, shout out to Law and Order Sidebar. Let's take a little sneak peek at to what they had to say and things. And we're going to get back into this, people's. I'll be back. I'm fit to make me another bowl of gumbo, sit down here and toast me up some bread and things. And I'm fit to eat while we all sit back and watch this. It's all right, peoples. Again, Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope everybody had all of the wonderful things. All of your blessings came true and you got all of the things that you wanted to get and stuff. I hope you've been a good steward. I hope you continue to be a good steward and, you know, let God continue to keep blessing you. And I got me a glass of wine, peoples. I've only have a half a glass and stuff. And so I'm going to consume that. And but tomorrow I'm going to go and get me a Cosmopolitan and get me some new appliances and stuff, which is good. You know, blessed be to God. And then I'm going to be with my kids to where we go and restock the gumbo. So if anybody wants some gumbo, send me your address. I'll if you're close, you know, I'll bring you some. But if you're not, then I can freeze you some. But yeah, this is gumbo season, peoples, and I threw down big time, man. If you're blessed to have my Facebook page, you'll see how I just kind of take a quick sneak peek at the gumbo that I made and stuff, and how rich that stock is and everything. And that thing was so damn delicious, people. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. But it's Christmas Day today, people, so it's time for us to celebrate. You know, it's time for us to celebrate. Now, they say that this is Jesus' birth. Whether you believe that or not, still, I'm like Stevie Wonder. I'm just happy the joy the day brings. I wish those days could come back for more. Well, the day is here, people. It is Christmas Day. And it's unfortunate that we're talking about the diddler. But, I mean, hey, that's what's out there now. So might as well just go ahead and shoot your shot about it. It's all right, people. So again, Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. Shout out to Law and Crime Sidebar. Let's get into this right now, peoples. Let's go.
In yet another lawsuit against embattled rapper Sean Combs, a woman claims that she was lured into traveling to an exclusive Diddy party through a radio contest, only to be assaulted and wake up in the hospital. We're going to break down this bombshell new lawsuit for you in the continuing Sean Combs legal saga. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Well, it's another day and another Sean Diddy Combs lawsuit to break down. And the first thing that I noticed about this lawsuit, which was filed, by the way, in federal court in New York, this is in the Southern District, this is the same jurisdiction where Combs is being prosecuted criminally for federal sex trafficking, racketeering, and prostitution charges. The first thing that I noticed about this lawsuit is that the plaintiff here identified herself. Yeah, so unlike many other lawsuits that Sean Combs has faced since he was first sued by his ex-girlfriend Cassandra Ventura back in 2023, many of these people filed anonymously. In fact, the lawsuit that Jay-Z is facing right now in a joint lawsuit with Sean Combs, that is an anonymous Jane Doe. This lawsuit, this accuser here has identified herself, and she has identified herself as LaTroya Grayson. Few things to note here. Number one, first of all, for her to come out publicly against Sean Combs, it's a big thing, right? It's a big thing, not easy to do. Second of all, I wonder again, as we've seen in other lawsuits where you have Jane and John Doe's trying to proceed anonymously in their cases against Sean Combs. This just could be another example. Well, here's another accuser who filed a lawsuit against Sean Combs, revealed her identity. You don't have enough grounds, you don't have enough reasoning for you to proceed anonymously. But also, it seems to me, because you are seeing a number of those lawsuits where the courts have said that these Jane Does have to reveal their identities, she may have said, I'm just going to skip that step. If I'm going to sue Sean Combs, I'm going to identify myself. Okay, now let's talk about the lawsuit. When she filed this lawsuit against Sean Combs, she didn't just name him as a defendant. She also named Bad Boy Entertainment, Atlantic Records, Mike Savis, who is described as an employee of Atlantic, Delta Airlines, an Oklahoma radio station called KJAMS 105.3 FM, the Roger Smith Hotel in New York, and others. And I will explain how they are all put together in this complaint. Now, the first part of this complaint kind of sets the stage, the timeline. It talks about Cassandra Ventura's lawsuit, talks about how other lawsuits came out after she filed hers, all against Sean Combs, talks about his arrest, his denial of bond, and then it says this. Plaintiff now alleges she too is one of the many victims of defendants Combs and the other defendants named herein. Plaintiff can support her allegations and has suffered extreme emotional distress impacting nearly every aspect of plaintiff's life and personal relationships. Given all the brave individuals who have come forward against defendant Combs, plaintiff is also doing the same. So who is LaTroya Grayson? Well, apparently she is a resident of Oklahoma who says that when she was 23 years old back in 2006, she was assaulted. So according to her, back in 2006, that is when KJAMS, this radio station, began promoting a contest that was sponsored by Sean Combs, Bad Boy Entertainment, and Atlantic and Delta. And the contest offered a winner of an all-expenses-paid vacation for two to New York City to attend one of the infamous Diddy white parties. Sounds like a great thing, right? And Grayson explains that she and her sibling entered this contest and her sibling won. That included apparently round-trip airfare for the winner and a guest, brought her along, a hotel room, 2 white party tickets, the whole shebang. But Grayson says this wasn't a typical white party. Rather, it turned out to be a promotional party. And also, she says it was really strange because the date was rescheduled without any kind of warning or explanation. And it was also changed from a white party to a black party. So, okay, so now you're seeing kind of difference in how it was being marketed to what the actual gift or prize was. Now, throughout this complaint are photographs. And one of the photographs is what purports to be a letter from Atlantic with instructions on how to attend the party, and also photographs of what appear to be the plane tickets. So Grayson says she and her sibling, they go to New York City, which, by the way, neither she nor her sibling had ever been to before. They check into the Roger Smith Hotel, and embedded in the complaint is what appears to be a copy of the invoice or cash deposit from the hotel as well. Again, further evidence to show that all of this happened. From there, she claims that she was picked up in this transportation van that was arranged by the man I mentioned before, Mike Savis from Atlantic. And by the way, from Delta to Roger Smith to Savis, you can see how all of these different defendants, their roles in what is allegedly about to happen. And aside from the heinous accusations in these Diddy lawsuits, as a lawyer, as a legal analyst, I gotta say, There is really impressive lawyering going on in these filings. And whenever I think of that, how could I not mention another great set of attorneys? Our partner, our sponsor, Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Look, here's the deal. If you get injured, you have to know what your legal rights are. You have to know if you can be compensated. And Morgan & Morgan, they have a dedicated team of over 1,000 attorneys. They have case specialists, paralegals, investigators. They have an incredible track record of multi-million-dollar verdicts and settlements. Even if your case isn't worth millions of dollars, they will fight for what you deserve. There's no upfront fee. They only get paid if you get paid. The whole process can be done right from your smartphone. So if you're injured, you can easily start a claim at forthepeople.com/LC sidebar. Now, going back to this transportation van, Grayson says in this van were all the other contest winners from other cities. She says when they arrived at this party, not everybody was let in. No, they were judged based on their attractiveness. Only the attractive people would be let into this party. And that is important because she claims she was let into the party, her sibling was not, essentially meaning she was alone. Now, as further evidence that she had won this contest, took the trip, went to the party, embedded in this complaint are what appears to be photos that she took with celebrities at the party, including rappers Babs and Bone Crusher. And here is where everything takes a turn. I'm going to read directly from the complaint. Well, at the party, there was no bar for partygoers to get drinks. Instead, pre-made drinks were being circulated throughout the party by waitresses. After less than 2 pre-made drinks provided by the waitresses, plaintiff began to feel sick and tried to go to the restroom. By the way, this echoes what we have seen before with other allegations of Sean Combs. The allegation that he had sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl, by the way, back in 2000 at a VMA's after party. I believe in that complaint, it was that she had just taken a drink that was being offered and all of a sudden began to get sick. Moving on. The next memory plaintiff has is a waking at St. Vincent's Medical Center of New York. Photographs of the statement of account from that medical center and a hospital ID band, again, appear to be embedded in the complaint as well. It goes on. Plaintiff has no memory or no recollection on how she ended up at the hospital. When plaintiff regained consciousness at the hospital, she noticed her shirt was ripped, her underwear was missing, she was not wearing any shoes, and the money she had traveled with was stolen. The only money plaintiff had remaining was a $20 bill. Plaintiff was admitted to the St. Vincent's Hospital, treated, and released. And she explains that when she was released, she was a tourist. She'd never been to New York City before. There were no smartphones, so she really couldn't figure out how to get back to her hotel. She claimed she had to hail a taxi and use the only money she had left, the $20 bill, to get her back. The complaint goes on. When plaintiff returned to her hotel, she called a friend and explained she was not sure what happened to her, but plaintiff believed she was drugged, assaulted, robbed, with no memory of how she arrived at the hospital, as her last memory was being at Diddy's black party. And then she claims she ends up flying back home. But then, this is where things take yet another turn. The complaint reads, the day after plaintiff returned home from New York, she received a call from a New York area code with an anonymous female caller. The anonymous female caller asked to speak to plaintiff. The anonymous female caller then threatened plaintiff, telling her that any attempts to pursue anything about plaintiff's assault would be futile because defendant Combs was a celebrity and that plaintiff would just be wasting her time. Plaintiff was confused and scared as she did not know what happened to her. Plaintiff, hearing from this anonymous female caller, was further jarring and traumatizing as plaintiff learned that not only was she viciously assaulted, leading to her waking up at the hospital, but that defendant Combs was involved, and plaintiff would be unable to seek justice for her injuries because of defendant Combs' celebrity status. And then it goes on to say for approximately a week after she had returned home, she felt this constant pain in her private area, and it's pain that she believed was from rough sexual intercourse. But again, she says she has no memory of engaging in intercourse with anyone. The complaint goes on to say, plaintiff did not seek medical treatment or otherwise report her assault to law enforcement because she was scared and confused. First, because she did not know exactly what happened to her. Second, because of the threat she received from the anonymous female caller of defendant Combs' involvement. and it being a waste of time due to his celebrity status. And then she goes on to explain how, as a result of what happened to her, she suffered from depression, anxiety, she has felt shame, she felt betrayed by all those who facilitated her attending this party. And as a result, she says, she hasn't been able to keep a job or be a productive member of society, that she's experienced intimacy issues. This is a harm component that's important in these kinds of lawsuits. What did you suffer? It's important for a damages analysis. And she says the reason that she filed this lawsuit now, so many years later, is because Sean Combs is currently locked up in the Metropolitan Detention Center with no bond, that she finally feels safe to come forward. Okay, before we move forward, I have a few thoughts on this. First of all, from a legal point of view, the weaknesses in this case, in this claim, are that she doesn't remember anything. That includes not only the alleged assault or what exactly happened to her, but even her meeting or having any interaction with Sean Combs. She is basing this off what someone else allegedly told her. Her hospital visit, the pain she felt, yes, that's important. But can you tie it back to Sean Combs? There is clearly, evidence based on her account, her hospital visit, the pain she felt. You could say that is evidence of sexual assault for sure. But again, can she prove that it was directly tied back to Combs, that he did this? And look, of course, episodes like this are very common in assault cases where the victim or alleged victims, they don't remember anything, particularly if they've been drugged. But in a court of law, that could be an issue. Now, on the other hand, if she is being portrayed as someone who is just making this up to go after Sean Combs, that this is another payday, couldn't she have made up details that were more helpful to her case, that were more beneficial? Couldn't she say, yeah, I remember Combs came into the room, he did this, he did that? No. The fact that she says, this is what I remember, this is what I don't remember, and then recounts just this bizarre alleged phone call, perhaps that makes this story even more credible. Plus, on top of the photographs of the different parts of this trip, that will help. She also explains, this is why I never came forward earlier, as why a lot of people didn't come forward earlier. It took something for him being locked up in a detention center for me to feel comfortable about coming forward. Also, from a legal point of view, it may become an issue to tie all of the negative things that have happened to her in her life to this alleged assault. Could be an issue, something that I think the defense would explore if this goes to trial. Now, let me go into what the causes of action or claims are in this complaint, what she's suing for. The first is a RICO or racketeering claim. So aside from the fact that Sean Combs is being criminally charged with racketeering conspiracy, we haven't seen one of these in a lawsuit against Diddy in a while. I remember that Sean Combs' former producer, Rodney Little Rod Jones, he filed under a RICO claim in his cause of action. He claims that he was sex trafficked and assaulted by Sean Combs. So this is an interesting cause of action. And racketeering is about a criminal enterprise or series of illegal activity. And as she lays out in this complaint, one category is dealing in obscene matter. Now here, Grayson says that all the defendants are 100% liable for what Combs allegedly did to her, that they financially benefited from Combs, that they provided him with the resources he needed to do this, and they didn't investigate or monitor him. The complaint reads, the support provided by the RICO orchestrators to defendant Combs was a lifeline that spearheaded and maintained the defendant Combs' depraved actions. Upon information and belief, the establishment of a business relationship with a prominent record label, Atlantic, prominent common carriers, Delta and Roger Smith Hotel, allowed for a distribution platform for all defendant Combs' business endeavors to disguise his true intentions with overly broad and vague in nature descriptions of activities. Defendants knew or should have known that defendant Combs had no intention to utilize the resources he received for business-related purposes, and they did not put any mechanism in place to ensure that their resources, specifically their publication, were not being used for any illegal activity. Defendants' willful blindness resulted in plaintiffs suffering the harm detailed herein. And there was this idea that the criminal enterprise, these activities cross state lines. And it reads, the defendants have unlawfully increased their profits by luring and deceiving individuals such as plaintiff under false pretenses for defendants' personal desires, deviances, and gain. That there was a common purpose to enrich themselves at the expense of people like Miss Grayson. And all the defendants were direct participants in this fake marketing scheme surrounding a safe and fun party for people to attend. But Grayson was allegedly abused there. This was their fault. This was all an illegal conspiracy or agreement. And she even claims that there were multiple acts of wire and mail fraud as evidence of this RICO enterprise by distributing marketing materials and contest instructions and secure wires and cash payments, all to, again, allegedly lure in unsuspecting victims like plaintiff. Now, as part of this claim, Grayson is not only seeking a variety of damages to compensate her, but also, and this was interesting, she is requesting that she be granted an incentive or service award. So we usually see this in litigation, particularly in class action cases, where a court will reward a plaintiff for the work that they did in the case, understanding the risks that they took in bringing this case. She's also suing for assault and battery, negligent hiring, training, supervision, and retention on the part of Bad Boy, Atlantic, and K-Jams for employing people that allowed this alleged misconduct to happen. She's suing for negligence in that everyone owed Grayson a legal duty of care, negligent and intentional infliction of emotional distress, which are very kind of broad, all-encompassing claims, either engaging in conduct likely to result in emotional distress, or its conduct is so extreme that it just goes beyond the levels of human decency. And finally, she is suing, and this is the one we've seen before, she is suing under the New York City Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act. We've seen this in other lawsuits. And this complaint actually does a good job of explaining what that is. So this law created a 2-year look-back window from March 2023 until the end of February, March 2025, for survivors of gender-motivated violence to sue their abusers for claims that would otherwise be time-barred. Sexual assault is a form of gender-motivated violence. The idea here, allegedly drugging and assaulting Grayson at a party thrown for a radio contest winners, is a crime of violence that was committed because she was a woman, and there is a degree of animus towards women, and that is evidenced by a lack of consent. So aside from a plethora of damages for each claim in the award that I mentioned before, Grayson is also in this lawsuit seeking a judgment that declares all the defendants engaged in unlawful practices. Now, in response to this reportedly $15 million lawsuit, a statement on behalf of Combs was issued to Fox News Digital, and it reads, "Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted anyone or engaged in sex trafficking. Ms. Grayson admits she has no memory of the events alleged in her complaint, does not know who was supposedly involved, and has never spoken to Mr. Combs. Her allegations against him are pure fiction. As we've said before, Mr. Combs cannot respond to every baseless lawsuit and lawyer-driven money grab. He has faith in the judicial process in which fact will be separated from opportunistic fabrications like these." By the way, before we end things, so Grayson is being represented by Ariel Mitchell. This is somebody that we've interviewed here on Sidebar. She is somebody who's represented other Sean Combs accusers. And as you may recall, she also represents Courtney Burgess, who reportedly testified in front of a grand jury, apparently hearing new evidence in Sean Combs' criminal case. Burgess claimed that he had in his possession multiple sex tapes of Combs and celebrities. So this is a big development, another big lawsuit. We will see where this goes. But that is all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jesse Weber. Speak to you next time.
Okay, people, so I'm back. I got wipe my hands real quick. You guys give me a second. Let me get this toast. Boy. That's very interesting, people. It is very interesting as to how these people facilitated these people to come out to some type of makeshift party, all because they can, and supposedly had taken advantage of different ones. Now, I do understand that they're trying to make Diddy the spokesperson for all of the things that allegedly had occurred. and whatnot, you know. But you got to understand that in order to pull something off like that, there's a lot of people that was involved. Hotels, you know, airline people. I mean, just a whole host of people. More so than just Diddy. And he couldn't have pulled this off alone. So then my question would be this. Because in order for that to happen, it had to be multiple girls. Not just one girl. I can see if it was just one girl, but it had to be multiple girls. So you mean to tell me that Diddy had X with all of these girls that had supposedly came? Because see, the thing is, peoples, it had to be a benefit for Diddy, as well as it had to be a benefit for the people who procured these girls to come out there. So everybody had to benefit from it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if Diddy was the one who spearheaded this and stuff, well, then there had to be an incentive for the other people to be able to follow through with that of what they proclaimed to have happened. Now, you can always go back to phone records, people. You can always go back to history to where airline tickets and stuff and see where these people have booked a flight, where they flew from, and where they flew to. So certain things can be corroborated and all. Now, can the actual assault be corroborated? Well, not to the degree of certainty, but only to the degree of speculation, because again, you know, if you're drugged and they drugging you with this type of drug that you loses your memory, well then right there ain't much you can do. Because you don't know who did what. And unless somebody from that inner circle is going to come out and spill the beans and, you know, take their actions into account, yeah, turn themselves in and take responsibility, well, it ain't much that you can do there. You know, I mean, people have to take responsibility for what they did. And if they choose not to, well, then it's only limited to what the people can remember. Now, and even with that, it's a slippery slope, because there could be somebody who was actually at the party that could have given certain information to these individuals making a claim. You know, because see, the thing is, people, just because you remember some things, it doesn't make it law. It doesn't make it to the degree to whereas you can pinpoint with certainty this happened. And even if you remember certain things and stuff, you know, that still doesn't make it law that that person had did something to you. Because like I said, people could have told her some information and she goes on and express it and, you know, voila and stuff. So cases like this, it's not easily, you know, it's not easily cut and dry, because there can be so many different motives why people would want to shake down people and things. Yeah, it happens all too often. And so the burden of proof, it comes to the people who is bringing the lawsuits and stuff. They have to come with something a little bit more. Yeah. what can be a good, wholesome timeline, and if they can pinpoint the actual days, the approximate times, because remember, all of that stuff can be validated on the itinerary, the airport. You know, if you have the postings of the so-called contests that they were promoting and things, you know, if all that stuff can be substantiated, you know, that's just an extra added piece to that of what you said had happened. You know, now, does she tie everything to Diddy? Well, not the fact. Unless she had some firsthand knowledge, or she had some type of picture, or anything that can put him there, well, then she has a strong case. But she doesn't have anything other than circumstantial evidence. Well, then it's going to be kind of hard to prove her case. Now, did anything happen to her? Well, I have to stand on the side of caution, because I can't say yes, something did, and I can't say no, something different didn't. You know, I don't know. And I won't know until more evidence comes out. But just for mere allegation, it's not proof, peoples. It is not proof. You have to come better than that. And you have to come, you know, with something that is going to tilt the scales in your favor. Because one thing we have noticed in this P. Diddy case is that the same old narrative is being transmitted all across the airwaves, and that is, I've been given a drink, I felt woozy, and then I passed out, and then I don't know what happened to me. Just think about that for one moment, people, and on the lines as to what it was stated. Well, if that be the case, then you have all of these people at a party. The people who supposedly haven't been drugged and stuff clearly see these people in distress. You know, all of these people in distress. You know, maybe one or two, or maybe be however many that was there and stuff. You know, certain people was in distress. You know, I mean, ask yourself the question, people, simply this. For these people to have access to all of these different girls, why would they go to great lengths to essay people when they all they have to do is just directly pay to have X with them? Think about that for one moment. You know, you're a billionaire. You have access to all of this money, and you have all of this prestige and fame. And you go to great lengths to put people out of their consciousness, only to pound them, you know, in the places where, you know, taking their cookies, so to speak. You're a billionaire. You have access to all of this money. You have all of this power and prestige, but yet you go and you take somebody's cookie. For what? For what? That's the question that I raise. People, for what? Why are you wanting to go and take somebody's cookie when all you have to do is just pay for it? And I'm sure that a lot of these people who is in dire need of some financial assistance would be glad to give up their cookie. Oh yeah, well I got Jay-Z and Diddy, and they wanted to pay me X, Y, and Z for my cookie. Well, and then you just keep it under wraps. Okay, you got what you got. I got what I got. Let's be done for it. But they go to great lengths to hire people, to have people go out and promote all of these so-called contests and parties and things and stuff, and fly people across the wherever they are. I mean, just think how sinister and sick that is, people. All of the money that goes into bringing these people to where they bring them to, and then go and do all this deviant, devilish, and demonic madness to them. And then send them on their way and say, you better not say nothing. And then the people don't say nothing. Which is ironic to me. So you can look at it two ways, people. You can look at it as if they were complacent and they came out there willingly to let go of their cookie and things, and got embarrassed because they didn't get no money for it, or that this stuff really happened and that they got violated. And if you got violated, people's, you would think that you would have said something, but nobody said anything. And my thing is, do Diddy have that type of power to where it will keep the people from saying something? Somebody takes your cookie, you think that somebody take your cookie and stuff, but yet they tell you, well, you better not say nothing. I'm going to take your cookie, but you better not say nothing. And then you don't say nothing. And then all of these years go by and you don't say nothing. So did the people really take your cookie? Or are you just embarrassed? Did the people really take your cookie, or are you just embarrassed and you came out and you came to a freak show? That's the question. And so that's the question that I would like to try to answer, but I can't answer it because I don't know, peoples. I don't know which is it. If Diddy really had that type of power to where he can really tell the people, look, you guys better not say anything, or we're going to take you out of here. Or was it because the people, were really afraid of what could have happened? Now, in the way that these people are speaking, it just makes it seems like these people really don't really have it all together. Because I can't see for the likes of me that Jay-Z or Diddy had that much power to silence hundreds of people. These people ain't nothing but just billionaires. They're movie stars and stuff. So what is it that they had that can really impact, just the average person? Really? I mean, are they the mafia? Are they, some type of organization that can really just take you out just because they said it and stuff? I mean, what type of power did they exhibit to the people to make the people not want to say anything for all of these years? That's amazing to me. So you mean to tell me every billionaire out there that has money can go ahead and take anybody's cookie and dare you not to say anything? Really? They will go and drug you, take your cookie, and say, look, you bet not say nothing, or we are going to take you out of here. I mean, that's pretty much what they're saying. Because if that be the case, any billionaire with money can just go ahead and pay people off. Or pay people for their cookie. And I'm sure that, if the right amount of money was offered to many of you people, you're going to sell your cookie too. If it means for you to be a instant millionaire and to be under subjection and to be hurt, for a few hours or whatever, hell, you sell your cookie behind that. Well, that's the question that you raise up against these people. Now, what type of lifestyle did they live? Did these people have a solid ironclad alibi to say, okay, yeah, this I'm not this type of person that lies, and yes, this did happen? Well, you gotta ask yourself the question that people's, you gotta ask yourself the question that and stuff. Are these people just money hungry? What type of situation are they in? Are they in a very financial situation and stuff? Are these people well known in their society to where these people are not known to sit here and lie about something like this and stuff? These are the questions that I ask the people. And these are the questions that I look to get answered, but it's kind of hard to get the questions answered, people's, when, the same old mantra is being spoken, but there is nothing more substantial to their claim other than the same old rhetoric being repeated. So it kind of makes you wonder. So you got to look at it in a little bit more deeper fashion. And then you got to question everything, people. You just can't take for face value what people say. I get it, the salacious nature and stuff, yeah, nobody wants to be associated like that and stuff. But at the end of the day, you have to vet the people to the degree, peoples. You really do. You got to do your deep dive homework and stuff, and look at the venues and see who was doing what at what time and so on and so forth. There's a lot of public information out there, and then there's a lot of information that just absolutely, unequivocally, and undeniably cannot be disclosed. And so, but you have to do your due diligence as to what you will find, to be credible or not. And then, do a little bit of research upon the people to see, are they upstanding citizens and stuff, and are they prone to kind of do something like that? And then you got to understand too, people, this is Hollywood. So somebody has an agenda up against these boys. And so you got to take that into account too. And if it's true for what they're saying, that people are getting paid off to make some claims and stuff, well, then you got to take that into account too. So you got to take everything into account, and you got to look at it for what it is. Now, if you think Dittler is guilty for extending people and spending all of this time and money, my question is simply this, and it's a simple question. It takes money, time, and effort to put this production on. And what gratification or satisfaction does he get for spending all of that money to get these people out there to take their cookie, to send them back home and threaten them? What, just for this mere fact that he can do it? Is that the reason, peoples? Is that the pleasure that he gets? Just this mere fact that I can do it and I can get away with it, and nobody's ever going to say anything? Well, then you look at it like this. Look at all of the people who was complicit to this. All of the Hollywood stars that was there and may have partaken into this and stuff. And if he's got videotapes of this, well, then it's a done deal for these people. A lot of people was going to jail, especially this guy who proclaimed that he had X tapes of the people. Well, whoever's on those tapes, it ain't no way that the government was going to allow these people to sit free, and you got some under youngin on tape being assaulted. It is no way, people. So you got to look between the lines when these people are speaking about such things. See, those are the things that I question, peoples. Those are the things that I look at, because those are the things that is going to tell me, and is going to validate to a certain degree whether I can trust that of what the people are bringing, or whether it's just all fluff and pancakes, you know, all air and no substance. All right, people. So I had Drew up another live. Let's go ahead and take a look at this and see what's going on in the life of the Z-Man. Let's go, peoples.
These calls present a crossroads. Whether he remains silent or addresses the allegations directly, his response could influence public perception of his role in this unfolding saga. The references to mutual betrayal and veiled threats suggest a complex history that only adds fuel to the speculation surrounding their relationship. As these calls continue to dominate headlines, they symbolize more than just a feud. They expose the volatile intersection of fame, power, and accountability. The fallout from this controversy will undoubtedly leave a lasting mark on both Diddy and Jay-Z's legacies, serving as a stark reminder of the precarious balance between influence and vulnerability in the public eye. Only time will reveal the full truth behind these explosive allegations. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to give this video a like, leave a comment with your thoughts, and hit that subscribe button for more updates on this case and other trending topics. Don't forget to click on the next video popping up on your screen now. You won't want to miss it. See you there.
Wife did a few movies, didn't she? Okay. That was a long time ago, Pop. What the fuck are you trying to say?
When you hosted for Diddy, did you catch any baby oil?
You'll see, when I hosted for Diddy, you asked the wrong person the wrong question.
I kept a sample in case you needed. Oh, really? Listen, don't push your limits, Puff. I ain't the one to play with. You in there, and I'm out here.
The internet is ablaze today with an alleged leaked recording that's sending shockwaves through the music industry. This changes everything. A private prison phone call between Jay-Z and Diddy has surfaced online, and it's more explosive than anyone could have imagined. You won't believe what these two icons have said behind closed doors. Prepare to be shocked as secrets are revealed and accusations fly. Diddy's alleged influence in jail. Diddy's time in prison is now entwined with accusations of illicit influence within the institution. It is alleged that he uses other inmates as intermediaries to convey messages to those outside the prison, thus bypassing established communication procedures. This purported manipulation of the prison system brings into question the true extent of his authority, even while incarcerated. If these claims prove true, they reveal a deliberate attempt to shape the public perception of his legal battles. A particular concern is the allegation that Diddy employed prohibited methods to contact individuals not on his approved list. He is accused of exploiting other inmates' phone codes to facilitate three-way calls. This strategy constitutes a breach of prison regulations and demonstrates a blatant disregard for the established rules. The potential consequences of such actions are serious, suggesting that Diddy may have been engaged in a calculated effort to sway witnesses or secure advantageous statements while imprisoned. These assertions further indicate Diddy's alleged ability to persuade or intimidate individuals even within the prison walls. Reports suggest he has hired inmates inside the penitentiary to act as messengers and go-betweens in his communications. Such interference raises concerns about the fairness and accountability of the prison process. This scenario has led prosecutors to argue against bail for Diddy, citing his continued ability to control events surrounding the case from within prison walls. Coded language.
Nah, with all due respect, my brother, how is your wife doing? I heard she's spending a lot of time on the farm, and she loves talking to a pig. I told you when I went on this little road trip, I wasn't going to invite you, but I could change my mind. You understand?
A fascinating element of Diddy's jail calls is his purported use of coded language to communicate with individuals outside the prison walls.
Well, I mean, that tells you right there, peoples, that, Diddy got this man by the kahunas. I mean, he's talking about his wife and stuff and been on the farm. And old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had a pig, E-I-E-I-O, and the pig said oink oink here and a oink oink there, oink 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 everywhere. And see, one of the things about pigs, people, is simply this: pigs like mess. Pigs like mess. Pigs like slop. They're messy. And so basically what he is saying is simply this. Things can get very, very messy because your wife is messing with the pigs. And what is another term for the pigs? Is police, or people in power, or uppers. See, do you understand what I'm saying, people? So you got to learn the code language that they're speaking. So if J to the Z is not watching his step, J to the Z can be right in where P D is, peoples, because his wife is messing with the pigs. Meaning his wife is getting cozy up with the uppers. And all the diddler has to say is, hey, brother, man, you are guilty as charged. And so since you are guilty as charged, well, then guess what? You're going to go down just like me. And so that's my take upon it, people. So that's the way that I'm reading this. It's the way that I'm reading this, because I mean, hey, he had to speak to the man at some point. So yeah, you can publicly denounce me as much as you want to, but at the end of the day, you're just as complicit. And so you're going to have to take a little bit of the stain. If you want to get a tough stain out, peoples, you got to shout it out. And so the diddler is shouting his name. Let's go ahead and watch a little bit more of this, peoples. Let's go.
Prosecutors assert that Diddy employed enigmatic phrases like pigs, road trips, and worm food to conceal the true nature of his conversations. This deliberate use of veiled terminology has hampered authorities' ability to fully decipher his communications, raising concerns about what activities he might be coordinating from within the prison. Such coded messages suggest an attempt to circumvent monitoring systems and maintain control over his public image and legal proceedings. The term pigs is believed to refer to law enforcement officials, indicating Diddy's possible displeasure or apprehension regarding police involvement in his case.
People, didn't I just say that? I just said that before this video ever played that. I just said that, peoples. And so what? What? They mad because they can't decipher this man's coded language? They mad because now he learned to play the game just like all of the other people? And so they can't pinpoint anything on him more so than not, peoples? Is that what they're mad about? Well, I mean, hey, you know, all of these convicts been doing the same thing. So Diddy ain't the first. So, I mean, if they had the knowledge and experience like they proclaimed and stuff, people, well, get up your high horse and do your job. Do your job. That's what your job consists of. Do your job. You know, nothing comes easy, right? So everybody gets mad because Diddy is using the system just the way that all of these other criminals do, peoples. I said Diddy is doing the same thing that these criminals has been doing forever and a day, peoples. And so what's the difference? Because Diddy is doing it, now everybody's getting mad because they can't decipher that of what this man is doing. Really? Really, peoples? That's it's amazing to me, peoples. It's amazing to me. I thought the government had it all under control, but no. You got the weeping and wailing people who's sitting up here. Everybody's upset because the diddler is getting away with a lot of things. And they can't stop it. All right, people, so let's take a look at the Diddler and Z-Man to see how they are doing, peoples. Let's go.
Likewise, road trips appears to be a euphemism for imprisonment or potential legal repercussions, used to subtly convey warnings or threats. The expression worm food is speculated to mean compromising material or evidence that he holds over others, a menacing implication that highlights his alleged willingness to exploit his influence even while incarcerated. These phrases, though ambiguous, suggest a methodical and deliberate approach to communication. Court documents indicate that these codes were allegedly used by Diddy to instruct family members, associates, and intermediaries on how to reach the witnesses and victims. Such indirect language seems to have been used to prevent his intentions from being too easily detected by the authorities. However, prosecutors have advanced that the encoded communication is much more evidence that he has made attempts aimed at intimidation of witnesses and obstructing justice. Allegations of witness intimidation.
Everything all good. We just can't talk right now.
Now, how about I just talk and you listen? You told me the storm would just come and go if I lay down and stay quiet. But the weather seemed to be getting worse. You know, I could be catching a cold, so I need to make sure you send me some vitamin E and my special K cereal.
The mention of needing vitamin E and special K cereal seems to be coded language. In the context of the call, these phrases could represent resources, support, or specific assistance Diddy needs from Jay-Z. The deliberate use of such euphemisms could indicate an attempt to obscure the true nature of the request from authorities monitoring the conversation. It also suggests Diddy is aware of the precariousness of his position and is taking calculated measures to communicate indirectly. Among the most serious accusations leveled against Diddy are claims that he sought to intimidate witnesses involved in his ongoing legal proceedings. Reports indicate he leveraged his influence to silence individuals who might provide detrimental testimony or coerce them into delivering statements that support his defense. This alleged conduct forms a cornerstone of the prosecution's argument against granting Diddy bail, as it displays a blatant disregard for due process and raises serious doubts about his willingness to manipulate the case from within prison walls. The consequences of these allegations expand beyond Diddy's case. If they do not feel safe or are forced to silence their witness, a very dangerous precedent is being set by the justice system. With the witness intimidation comes a sense of lack of faith in the legal institution to bring the most powerful individuals into account. These allegations are, thus, a way of drawing the focus of the courts into a need for very severe measures to ensure that a fair trial is done without manipulation or coercing, no matter how great or big the resources of the defendant may be. The role of the DA in leaks. By specifically targeting platforms with significant cultural influence, he demonstrates a deliberate effort to frame himself positively in the public eye. The mention of being portrayed as a good father adds a personal touch, likely intended to humanize him and garner sympathy amid his legal troubles. This focus on image management reveals a calculated attempt to manipulate public sentiment, which could influence potential jurors or sway the broader narrative around his case. Diddy is trying to make it as if he's a good father, but the district attorney, DA, has been instrumental in bringing the accusations against Diddy to the forefront. From initiating charges to presenting evidence of his alleged wrongdoing, the DA has been a key figure in the legal proceedings. However, this case has been beset by reports of substantial leaks, including video recordings of court proceedings and intercepted phone calls surfacing online. These leaks raise serious questions about the security of the judicial process and whether outside forces are compromising the case's integrity. A shocking turn of events occurred with the DA's abrupt resignation during what is arguably the most prominent trial of their career. This unexpected departure has fueled speculation about whether external pressures, such as intimidation or political maneuvering, contributed to the decision.
Now, people, I want you to recognize something. The DA had recused himself. The DA. He came out with all of this yada yada stuff. Yeah, okay, we're gonna get Diddy, we're gonna do this, do that. Now the man had recused himself. So, it lay claims to what the people had stated, that they're afraid of Diddy, and Diddy has some type of power and some type of connections, because Diddy, I don't think has no power, but I think Diddy has powerful people who he had worked for. And so if Diddy goes down, then they go down. And so I don't see nothing happening to Diddy, especially when you got, like the man say, all of these leaks coming out. All of these people are saying this and that and the other, and so on and so forth. You got the DA recusing himself and getting off the case and everything, all of the other stuff that's going on. So I think that the people, rightfully so, is saying, look, we got ourselves in a jam. And then look at Hollywood. Hollywood hasn't said nothing. Nobody in Hollywood has stood up in front of a camera to say that Dittler is guilty or innocent. I want you guys to take notice of that. Nobody in Hollywood had said that Dittler is guilty or innocent. And so you got the YouTubers going crazy with all of this conjecture and all of this madness and stuff, but that's all it is. And everybody's entitled to their opinion, people. Just doesn't mean that their opinions is actual, factual, and true. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you got to look beyond the scalp wound and look at the wound itself. So you got to look beyond the scalp wound and look at the wound itself. Is the wound healing, or is the womb getting worse? Well, you heard the Dittler says that the storm is passing over, but the storm is still here. And so he needs some vitamin E to make sure that his immune system is intact. So whatever you got to do to give me some relief, well, then that's what I need you to do. And so, you know, remember what the Dittler had said, that Jay-Z is his special aid. You know, it is a special aid. And if you know anything about Special K is good for the body because it has a lot of nutrients and grains that the body needs and stuff. That's why they call it Special K. It's a special diet to help you gain energy and to help you to boost your immune system. And so with vitamin E helps you and help your immune system stay intact. So basically what Diddy is saying, look, you are the one that can help me get off. And so whatever tactics that you need to do to help me get off, I need you to do that right now because you have the medicine. You can do what you do, and I need you to do what you do best. And so you need to go ahead and you need to speak to the brothers that be. And you need to tell them, hey, I'm here and I'm doing my best. But now, you know, I may just catch a cold. And when I catch a cold and I start coughing, then everybody can get the cold. Meaning that everybody can be implicated because, see, one thing about colds, peoples, if it's not inoculated, if it's not insulated, but then everybody that is around you can catch it. And you can make everybody around you sick. And so he doesn't want everybody to be sick, but if it has to come down to that, well, then he's going to spread his cold to everybody. And so this is why Hollywood ain't saying anything, because Hollywood is just as complicit as he is. And whatever the game that they played, peoples, Diddy wasn't the only one playing the game. And like I said, peoples, all he had to do was just give somebody 50,000 or 100,000 or whatever, you know, and just like Cat Williams said, they offered me $500 million or whatever to take that virgin whole, and he said no. Because see, the thing is, peoples, once the whole is taken, all of the amount of money doesn't really mean anything. It's the simple fact that I got your whole. And I got you just like us. And so I brought you down to your knees just like I bring everybody else. That is what Cat Williams is saying. So the money is not a factor. It's the simple fact that I can do anything to humiliate you and bring you to the fold. That's the game that they play. And so the Dittler is playing the game just like Hugh Hefner and all of the other people, Jeffrey Epstein's and Jeffrey Weinstein and all of the Steins and all of these people who have been a part of this type of organization. It's just the same way in the Kenneka Jenkins case, peoples. It's just the same way that the government goes and they make up and they scheme all of these different things that's supposed to happen to the young ones. And then they go and they develop a department. And then once they develop the department, well, then, you know what they do? They have to fund it. And then they make up these makeshift wars and things like that. And then guess who comes up missing? The young ones. And that is the way to end their day. the young ones' peoples come up missing. I said the young ones come up missing. And so since they are absolutely missing, and ain't nobody going to be looking for them or give the illusion that people are looking for them, well, then they're free game to do whatever they want. They fly them out to these islands and all of this different madness and stuff, and they have their way with them. And so they don't have to pay nobody. All they have to do is just say, oh, well, you know, there was a mass shooter that shot up the place and all of these young people came up missing. I said missing. All of these young people came up missing peoples. And so we don't know where they are. We don't know what to do and stuff, but we're going to do the best that we can and stuff. But you know, y'all stick with us and stuff. So, you know, the people, everybody's engaged, everybody is watching, everybody is listening and looking to try to get some information and stuff, but these kids never come back. And there are probably kids right now is in some dungeon, some place and stuff, will never see the light of day and will have to go through the rest of their lives in X trafficking. You know, and then all of the good old boys that's in the group, the team, you know, everybody so often, you know, go out there and get their little fill and stuff, but you can't say anything. Because once you are indoctrinated in, you're in. And so you have to play the game just like everybody else. That's why I never trust none of these presidents, regardless of who it is. But you got to pick one because you got to vote for the lesser of the evils. And so, you know, do all of these people have integrity, peoples? Or all of these people squeaky clean? Everybody's got some skeletons in their closet. And the government got some skeletons in their closet. Look at the guy whose rap sheet has been exposed from Congress. But they let him go because all of the stuff that he has been accused of, he still hasn't been in handcuffs. Now, have that been the average Joe Blow that did all of the things that they alleged him have been doing, well, then Joe Blow would have been in cuffs right now and been in jail for at least 3 or 4 years before a trial has even come about. And then finally, when the trial comes, well, he's already guilty before proven innocent. And so what they do is they just go ahead and, all right, well, enough time passed. Not too many people was paying attention to this. Let's go ahead and sentence him to 40 years, 50 years. So that's how you get him out the way. Give him a long sentence, get him out the way. His name ain't never going to be thought of and stuff. He's in there, so he's controlled. So he can't reach out to the reporters or anybody unless they say that he can communicate with the outside world. But other than that, he disappears in the system, never to be brought up again. And it happens all too often, peoples. That's what they tried to do with Young Thug. So what they tried to do with Young Thug, peoples. And so now you see how all of this happens. Now, look at me, peoples. I talked about the Kenneka Jenkins case. And I was bringing out some information and stuff. And everybody under the sun came after me. All of these YouTubers came after me and stuff. And people going and scandalizing my name and this and that and the other. But yet not one YouTuber that ever talked about the Kenneka Jenkins case ever came to my platform to try to debunk me. They never did. And why is that, peoples? But yet they attacked me, but they never tried to debunk me on my live, because not one YouTuber that ever talked about the Kenneka Jenkins case ever stood up to Edward Joseph. They never did. They never did. And I got my computer hacked. I got a Trojan horse. I got my computer to where they sent the pulse and they blew up my surge protector. Oh, they did everything. They tried to scandalize my name. They stricken my channels. They did everything. But I'm still here. I said, I'm still here. And so where these suckers tried to take me down, they couldn't take me down. And so you know what I did? I fought back. And I did more intense research upon them and found out all of these suckers are connected. All of these YouTubers are connected in one way or the another. And so they were paid to put the play out there, but they couldn't play it with Joseph because, see, I was too smart for him. And so that's why it got silent. And ain't nobody talking about Edward Joseph no more. Nobody. No YouTuber is talking about Edward Joseph, especially about the Kenneka Jenkins case. Now these YouTubers is going battling Trey Gay and all of these other people. But Edward Joseph's name is not mentioned no more. Why? Because these suckers know that I ain't going to tolerate, and I don't play the game. I don't play the game like they tried to play. So you want to come after me? Well, then come right ahead, because, see, I got way more up on you than what you ever think that you got up on me. And so we can play the game. We can go tit for tat, and we can play tic-tac-toe 3 in a row. We can play solitaire. We can play Joker's Wild. We can play Ace of Spades. Oh, we can play the game. We can even play checkers and chess. But either way, peoples, I know the game and I don't play the game. I don't have time to play the game with all of these people. And so the best thing for them to do is just shut up. And that's exactly what they did, peoples. They shut up. And they didn't say nothing else about Edward Joseph. Nothing else about Edward Joseph. And so there it is, peoples. And so out of sight, out of mind. But don't think that I don't know your script, and don't think that I don't know what you're doing. See, you may come and you may stay gone and stuff for 2 or 3 months, but see, I have a memory like an elephant because I never forget. And so as soon as you come back, and as soon as you want to come back and want to start up whatever, I'm ready. I stand ready. I stand packed, peoples. Do you understand what I'm saying? I am just like Quick Draw McGraw. I stand ready. And so as soon as these suckers come back, bam. I said, bam to the bam. I said, bam to the bam, ma'am. And I ain't eating spam, but I'm slicing your ham. I said, I'm slicing your ham, peoples. And so there it is, peoples. There it is right there. They ain't saying nothing now. They ain't saying nothing now, peoples. And I wonder why. All of these suckers sat up here and talked about the Kenneka Jenkins case and did all of this stuff only to just not say nothing no more. And get a load of this. They all was going to take down Edward Joseph, so they say. Well, people, I'm still here. I said I'm still here, and I'm still talking on this Christmas Day. I'm still here. A brand new computer, a faster internet connection, and a renewed voice to speak, peoples. Got all of my channels back. when they tried to take me down. I'm still here, peoples. All right, people. So let's go ahead a little further with the Z-Man and see what this man had to say about the Z-Man, peoples. Let's go.
Critics contend that stepping down at such a crucial juncture weakens the prosecution and could hinder the pursuit of justice. This resignation adds another layer of complexity to an already contentious legal battle. Now, case specifications have allegations that the leaks turned out to be intentional and/or facilitated by individuals because they wanted to sway the public perception. Tape-recorded jail calls are out online supposedly of Diddy, and these have him using coded language and contacting witnesses. Such sensitive materials found into the public domain have only raised eyebrows in the direction of the DA's office because it opens questions on how that much evidence could come out and freely circulated. These occurrences showcase one of the innumerable challenges that the DA finds in controlling a case as broad as this. Apart from the above, the leaks also risk placing the evidence in jeopardy and making it more difficult for the prosecution to win a conviction. This Rice issue of leaks, coupled with the resignation of the DA, calls for broader safeguards in dealing with matters of such high-profile reputation, but only for investigation purposes, and at the least possible distractions. Social media missteps and public perception. Diddy's use of social media during his imprisonment has garnered considerable attention, adding a layer of intricacy to his legal predicament. Despite counsel from his legal team to avoid public pronouncements, Diddy disregarded their advice and engaged in online posts designed to shape public opinion. A prime example is his birthday social media campaign, which featured a touching video of his children expressing their affection. While seemingly innocuous, such actions have raised questions about their suitability given the gravity of the charges against him.
Happy birthday, Daddy.
We love you too.
These posts were allegedly part of a calculated effort to portray Diddy as a devoted father and a positive influence, aiming to sway public sentiment. However, this tactic appears to have had the opposite effect, with critics and prosecutors arguing that these actions diminish the seriousness of his situation. By continuing to post from prison, Diddy has not only exasperated his legal team, but also risked alienating potential jurors who might interpret his actions as insensitive or manipulative. The contrast between lighthearted family videos and serious accusations creates a dissonance that damages his public image. The controversy surrounding these posts is compounded by allegations that Diddy ignored warnings from his lawyers about the risks of engaging in social media campaigns. His insistence on controlling his public narrative demonstrates a prioritization of personal branding over legal strategy. Prosecutors have highlighted these missteps as evidence of his disregard for the seriousness of the charges, further bolstering their argument that Diddy's behavior cannot be controlled, even while incarcerated. Ultimately, Diddy's social media missteps reveal a broader challenge of managing public perception during high-profile legal cases. Parties such as these may have meant to humanize themselves and gain sympathy through such conduct, but they invite criticism and skepticism. The mixed reception to his posts underscores the delicate balance between proffering public support and keeping with legal advice. Diddy further complicates his case with such action, while still possibly endangering the trust of both his legal team and the public. Celebrity connections and silence.
Everything good. Is Hollywood going to survive this Diddy thing? Like, we're worried. Will you respond?
Diddy's network of celebrity associates has drawn considerable attention amidst his legal woes, particularly due to the noticeable silence from his famous friends. Notable figures like Kevin Hart, Rihanna, and others who frequently attended his gatherings have remained publicly tight-lipped, even when pressed by the media.
When you hosted for Diddy, did he catch any baby oil?
You'll see, when I hosted for Diddy, you asking the wrong person the wrong question.
This collective reticence has fueled widespread conjecture, with many wondering if these individuals are avoiding self-incrimination or distancing themselves to safeguard their own reputations. Their refusal to comment has created a narrative that some interpret as signaling their unease or potential entanglement in the controversies surrounding Diddy. Reports indicate that some celebrities close to Diddy attended his notorious freak-off parties, which have become central to the allegations against him. These gatherings, rumored to involve questionable and explicit activities, have allegedly been documented on video recordings obtained by authorities. The possibility that such tapes could feature well-known individuals has intensified speculation that Diddy may be exploiting his knowledge or evidence of these events to ensure their silence. This alleged power dynamic adds another layer of complexity and raises questions about the influence of secrets and power dynamics in shaping celebrity conduct.
Now, people, so I want to add to that is that, and from what I've heard, is that not everybody got an invitation to the Diddler's party. Not everybody got an invitation to it. The people that got an invitation that are there were personally selected. Personally. So when they said that everybody attended Diddy's party, not everybody got a invitation, peoples. It was only a certain few people that was able to attend the party. And so you got to ask yourself the question, peoples. What is it that these people that are saying or not saying? Now, I've seen that Denzel Washington, he gave his life to Christ and he's got his ministerial license and stuff. But you got to understand that he was at the Diddler's party too. But he knows things as well. He's seen things as well, and he ain't saying things. So what was it that he had seen that he ain't saying that disgusted him and his wife, and he had to leave the venue? What was it that Denzel seen, peoples? Well, that's the question. And so now he's a holy man. Now, you know, he's preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ and all like this, which I thought it was so disrespectful when he was supposed to be getting his license and his wife was up there giving her testimony and stuff. He sat his tail down on the stairs and he couldn't even stand up like a man while his wife was speaking. And she was over here, oh, well, you know, I went to the Jordan Sea and I got some pebbles and stuff and I got it on an altar at my house, and, you know, that he's the head of the household and this and that and the other. And I was saying to myself, whoever the bishop was at that church, they are complicit and complacent, because I would have had his tail stand up. I would have reprimanded him and say, look, you know, we give respect where respect is due. But running in and up in front of pulpit and sitting down on the stairs and, you know, handing the mic to the kids so they can pray and things like that and stuff. I said, oh my God, he's going to run this church inside out. He's going to run this church inside out, people. And then he sits up there with the bishop and stuff. And, you know, then the bishop comes down and wants to try to have some words or whatever. I said, this is crazy. I was like, man, look at here. I said, look at here, peoples. And so I have that clip. I got to go to Facebook and get it, but I have that clip. And I'm going to play it after this little video clip that I'm playing right now, because I want you guys to see the disrespect of Denzel Washington. Now, he's an insider. He knows, he's seen for himself what happened at the Diddler's party. And so since you've seen something, Mr. Man of God, why aren't you saying anything? I need you to talk, Mr. Denzel Washington. I said, I need you to talk, sir. And I need you to tell us what happened at the Diddler's party. What was so egregious that you and your wife had to step out from the place? Well, we'll soon see, peoples. Because see, the one thing about that is that once you have an encounter with God, you can't go back, peoples. If you have a true encounter with God, you can't go back. And God is going to compel you to confess. I said, God is going to compel you to confess, because you can't be in anybody's pulpit and you shaking and faking. See, when Mr. Man, Mr. TD, got up there and, tried to pray and things like that, well, then God had to hold his tongue. I said, God had to hold his tongue. See, the Lord has a unique ability to bring you back into the fold. See, you can been doing all of this stuff and everything, but then when God gets tired of it, he knows how to bring you back. And he will make a public spectacle out of you to bring you back. To bring you back. So now, we're going to see what Denzel Washington had to say and what he was doing, the disrespect, the man of God and the house of God. Is that all right, peoples? So let's get back to the diddler and the fiddler and see what was going on with them peoples. Let's go.
You all need to speak out against this Diddy thing. What's your take now? John, you made a statement about Diddy. Hey, my man, do you have any reaction to the Diddy scandal? Any reaction? No reaction?
The silence of Diddy's Hollywood contemporaries underscores how precariously celebrities tread when publicly associated with a high-profile scandal. Publicity alone means that even a retirement or affliction from the entity may spell ill fortune. Through their silence, they will be those tragedies who would rather shun calamity in the forms of collateral damage from an already hot case. That silence has fueled conspiracy theories. Some of these say that Diddy might have dishonest information with which the celebrities fear getting unmasked.
Who wants to respond? Look at it. I want to ask about the Diddy scandal. Have you ever heard of anything such? No. No? Is the Baldwin family at all concerned about Justin Bieber with this P. Diddy thing?
This is about that fine mixing of allegiance and self-preservation in brand management, all in the guise of public opinion. Some people will call that silent betrayal of their former friend, while others classify it as an evergreen strategic move in defense of personal interest. In any case, the famous absence of public support from Diddy's famous fans intensified the mystery surrounding the case itself. Questions out there go beyond the case for such cases, but also concern the responsibility of speaking in public against scandal-attached individuals within a circle, and whether silence amounts to being complicit. Blackmail and the alleged worm food. A particularly contentious element of Diddy's legal proceedings revolves around accusations of blackmail to manipulate potential witnesses. Worm food, a term Diddy allegedly employed during prison calls, is interpreted as a veiled reference to compromising information or material he holds over others. This cryptic expression, appearing repeatedly in recorded conversations, suggests Diddy may possess damaging evidence that he threatens to disclose unless his demands are met. Such accusations depict an individual willing to leverage any means to safeguard his interests.
I kept a sample in case you need it.
Oh, listen, don't push your limits, Puff. I ain't the one to play with. You in there, and I'm out here.
Oh, and don't have another Kit Kat. It's bad for you. She made me gain weight and get 44 on board again. Make him pull some strings again, or else.
Prosecutors have drawn attention to instances where Diddy allegedly wielded this worm food to coerce or silence witnesses and associates.
Well, you heard what Jay-Z had said, but then the diddler had struck back with, look, I got the Kit Kat. And the Kit Kat made him fat. So you talking about don't come after you. Well, I can come after you and get 44 on board. Well, you know, people speculate 44 as to be President B. Do you guys remember? Because he was the 44th president. And so, is he wielding his power to get the diddler out of trouble? Well, you know, people's, you got to look at it for what it is. And now, since I'm looking at it for what it is, now I can understand why a lot of the people did not want to come forth. But even in jail, this man is still wielding what type of influence that he has up against the people. You got the DA retired or recused himself, got out the case real quick. You got the people over here, and everybody is they're putting out different pieces of this case out. They're leaking it out and stuff. You know, they don't have no control. So if you're going to leak the case, if you're going to leak information out to the public, and the public is not supposed to be knowing that information, well, then that tells me that you don't have a handle on this case. And you can't even handle your own office, let alone trying to get mad at a man who is wielding his influence up against you, but it ain't nothing that you can do. So y'all can talk about the diddler as much as you want to, people. So that man is smart. Hit him and the Z-Man. J to the Z. You know, the diddler is smart and J to the Z is smart. Because these are two black billionaire boys that grew up in Boys of the Hood. But see, you guys thought that they were misunderstood. But they're only just playing the game that has already been played forever and a day, peoples. So how are you going to get mad at them for playing the game? Because I didn't see many of you get so angry with Jeffrey Epstein and Henry Weinstein and all of the other Steins and things. You know, because see, it was just nothing but white kids involved in that. You know, you didn't see no black kids being depicted in any of those video footage and photos and things like that. You ain't never heard no black mother come and testify that Jeffrey Epstein did anything to their daughter or son. It was just nothing but white people because they like crackers. I said they like vanilla wafers. Do you understand what I'm people? They like the white frosting. They don't like chocolate cake or chocolate pies. They like the creamy filling peoples. They like Twinkies. They like the wet leopards and you know. Need I say more peoples? I mean, I've already described enough of the white people. Now, I'm not racist, peoples. I'm just calling it like it is. Well, you don't like to be called the crackers? Stop calling the people niggas. And then nobody will have to use a term to describe who you are, peoples. I said, is that all right, peoples? You know, so once you stop using nigger, and then we're going to stop using crackers or wet leopards. Is that all right, peoples? All right, peoples. So let's get back into this video and let's go ahead and listen in to what this man had to say about the diddler.
One report alleges he threatened to release recordings of private gatherings involving prominent figures if they failed to comply with his wishes. These purported recordings, rumored to document compromising activities at his notorious freak-off parties, have become a central element of the scandal. The potential existence of such material has fueled conjecture that many individuals remain silent out of fear of personal or professional damage. This could mean that the whole deal of worm food not only implicates Diddy in blackmail, but also shows how much influence he still has while being incarcerated. He could duck or maybe shut up if he is holding, like, some sort of threat over someone who would testify against him. It also adds on to the prosecution's contention that everything does not include basic legal tactics. This is something that really looks as if he would be purposely and manually trying to obstruct justice, which complicates his case further and undermines his credibility in the public eye.
Diddy had deals before to get his friends out of prison.
Yeah, he got powerful people. One of his partners who started his company with money, President Obama, got him out of prison. So it's not like he don't have no moves.
The larger question is whether these allegations of blackmail inspire a loss of power and influence with regard to abuse in high-profile cases.
Didn't he just say President B got him out of prison? And 44 is the 44 President B. Let's rewind that again, people. I just talked about that. I said I just talked about that, peoples. Let's listen in.
Diddy thing. What's your take now? John, you made a statement about Diddy. Hey, my man, do you have any reaction to the Diddy scandal? Any reaction? No reaction?
The silence of Diddy's Hollywood contemporaries underscores how precariously celebrities tread when publicly associated with a high-profile scandal. Publicity alone means that even a retirement or affliction from the entity may spell ill fortune. Through their silence, they will be those tragedies who would rather shun calamity in the forms of collateral damage from an already hot case. That silence has fueled conspiracy theories. Some of these say that Diddy might have dishonest information with which the celebrities fear getting unmasked.
Who wants to respond? Look at it. I want to ask about the Diddy scandal. Have you ever heard of anything such? No. No? Is the Baldwin family at all concerned about Justin Bieber with this P. Diddy thing?
This is about that fine mixing of allegiance and self-preservation in brand management, all in the guise of public opinion. Some people will call that silent betrayal of their former friend, while others classify it as an evergreen strategic move in defense of personal interest. In any case, the famous absence of public support from Diddy's famous fans intensified the mystery surrounding the case itself. Questions out there go beyond the case for such cases, but also concern the responsibility of speaking in public against scandal-attached individuals within a circle, and whether silence amounts to being complicit. Blackmail and the alleged worm food. A particularly contentious element of Diddy's legal proceedings revolves around accusations of blackmail to manipulate potential witnesses. Worm food, a term Diddy allegedly employed during prison calls, is interpreted as a veiled reference to compromising information or material he holds over others. This cryptic expression, appearing repeatedly in recorded conversations, suggests Diddy may possess damaging evidence that he threatens to disclose unless his demands are met. Such accusations depict an individual willing to leverage any means to safeguard his interests.
I kept a sample in case you need it.
Oh, listen, don't push your limits, Puff. I ain't the one to play with. You in there, and I'm out here.
Oh, and don't have another Kit Kat. It's bad for you. She made me gain weight. And get 44 on board again. Make him pull some strings again, or else.
Prosecutors have drawn attention to instances where Diddy allegedly wielded this worm food to coerce or silence witnesses and associates.
And get 44 on aboard again. And the guy just told you that President B had got him out of prison. I got him out of jail. I got him out of whatever. But get 44 on board again, meaning that 44 had already did something for him. And now he needs 44 again to wield his power. See, I've already deciphered what that was right there. Clear as daylight. And then the guy going to come back right behind me and say 44 had helped him get out of prison. Make that. I'm going to splice this video up, and I'm going to make a short out of that. Make a short out of that, because you guys need to hear what he had just said. Get 44 on board again. Z-Man had said, look, Puff, don't waste all your minutes. You in there and I'm out here. But what Puff had said, look, get 44 on board again. Meaning 44 had helped him before. 44 is going to help him again. Let's listen to this, people. I'm going to rewind this just a little bit.
Public support from Diddy's famous fans intensified the mystery surrounding the case itself. Questions out there go beyond the case for such cases, but also concern the responsibility of speaking in public against scandal-attached individuals within a circle, and whether silence amounts to being complicit. Blackmail and the alleged worm food. A particularly contentious element of Diddy's legal proceedings revolves around accusations of blackmail to manipulate potential witnesses.
Blackmail peoples. It didn't say white male, it says blackmail. It didn't say email. It didn't say America Online mail. You got mail. It says blackmail peoples. Blackmail. Let's listen in, peoples.
Worm food, a term Diddy allegedly employed during prison calls, is interpreted as a veiled reference to compromising information or material he holds over others. This cryptic expression, appearing repeatedly in recorded conversations, suggests Diddy may possess damaging evidence that he threatens to disclose unless his demands are met. Such accusations depict an individual willing to leverage any means to safeguard his interests.
I kept a sample in case you need it.
Oh, really? Listen, don't push your limits, Puff.
I give a sample in case you need it. Z-Man said, don't push your minutes, Puff. So Puff has samples. Let's listen in.
I ain't the one to play with. You in there and I'm out here.
He said, I'm not the one to play with. You in there and I am out here. That's what Z-Man had said. Let's go.
Oh, and don't have another Kit Kat. It's bad for you. She made me gain weight. And get 44 on board again. Make them pull some strings again, or else.
And get 44 on board again. And make him pull some strings again, or else. So 44 better pull some strings again, or else. And I think 44 is pulling some strings because the DA had abruptly got off the case. So 44 is pulling strings. And it's because of these things that's happening, peoples, that is going to bring this case to a screeching halt. Because they're losing their credibility, peoples. Too much stuff is happening. So I think 44 is pulling strings because he said, or else. Let's go, peoples. Let's go.
Prosecutors have drawn attention to instances where Diddy allegedly wielded this worm food to coerce or silence witnesses and associates. One report alleges he threatened to release recordings of private gatherings involving prominent figures if they failed to comply with his wishes. These purported recordings, rumored to document compromising activities at his notorious freak-off parties, have become a central element of the scandal. The potential existence of such material has fueled conjecture that many individuals remain silent out of fear of personal or professional damage. This could mean that the whole deal of worm food not only implicates Diddy in blackmail, but also shows how much influence he still has while being incarcerated. He could duck or maybe shut up if he is holding, like, some sort of threat over someone who would testify against him. It also adds on to the prosecution's contention that everything does not include basic legal tactics.
Now, understand one thing, people. Understand one thing. He has the worm food. And he told the man to get 44 on board again and wield whatever influence that he has. Or else. So if 44 don't comply with what the diddler wants, 44 is going to be exposed. I said 44 is going to be exposed, peoples. And so there it is, peoples, right there. There it is right there. 44, whatever you did, you better be in the good graces of this man, because he is going to bring you down. Now, see, people, I want you to understand a stark contrast here, because as it says that the feds had raided Diddy's houses and stuff, and they supposed to have got all of this information and things like that. But do you actually think this information is all that compelling, all of that good for whatever they proclaim to have? Do you think that that is really going to bring this man down? This man is sitting up here with all confidence in the world and still smiling. He's playing the role, peoples, because, see, obviously the feds ain't got everything. Because I didn't think that this man would be so stupid to bring everything that he got into the house, especially if he's got some juicies up on 44 and others. So with that being said, the feds ain't got everything. And somebody is out there holding the ace card. And so the puppets has to go ahead and dance, because he has them by the string, peoples. A person who was worried about getting convicted wouldn't be doing what he's doing. So he's making it public to all of the people, because you already know they're going to scrutinize his phone calls and stuff. That's what they're doing. And everything that they're putting out, he wants out, because he wants to get a message to the people. Look, you better play your cards right. I'm playing right along right now, but you better play your cards right, because, see, I am the dealer and I am the stealer. And if you don't comply with that of what I am asking you to do, well, then guess what? Guess what? It's going to come around and it's going to affect you big time. There it is, people. There it is in plain daylight. The diddler is playing chess. I've already made the move, and it's your turn. Now, should I make the last move in a checkmate, or should I allow you to keep on playing the game? The decision is yours. However you move is going to dictate whether I put an end to this game or whether I continue to keep playing the same. All right, people, let's listen in to what they had to say about the diddler.
This is something that really looks as if he would be purposely and manually trying to obstruct justice, which complicates his case further and undermines his credibility in the public eye.
Diddy had deals before to get his friends out of prison.
Shit, he got powerful people. One of his partners who started his company with money, President Obama, got him out of prison. So it's not like he don't have no moves.
What did he just say? President OB, had got him out of prison. That's what he said. He said President Obey had got him out of prison, peoples. And so if he's got connections and power like that all the way up to the top, oh yeah, this man ain't getting convicted, peoples. I'm sorry, he's not getting convicted. Not for what Suge Knight just said. I said not for what Suge Knight just said, peoples. And so with that being said, oh my goodness, now I understand why the people never came out, because if you got connections like that and that man had got you out, what is it that he's got over President B head that he can pull strings and bring out at any given point in time? See, he has the power to put a lot of people in jail. And so people's, do you actually think that the DA is going to prosecute him? And he has information such as high caliber like that? Oh, y'all keep on listening to these YouTubers. Let them tell you and paint a picture about all of this madness. But I'm here to tell you, peoples. I'm here to tell you. Let's rewind that just a hair, and then let's go. So peoples, look, you Kit Kat, you change the K to a G, you change the I to an E, and you got Get Cat. Kit Kat to Get Cat. You got that? Oh, peoples, you're not listening to what I'm saying. There it is right there. It says Kit to the Cat. Let's go, peoples. Let's go.
It's bad for you. She made me gain weight and get 44 on board again.
Kit Kat, she made me gain weight and get 44 on board again and make some moves. Kit Kat, she made me gain more weight. People, do you know what Kit Kat is? Kit Kat is candy. And what's another term for candy? drugs. They call it coca cane, like candy cane, coca cane, like mocha latte, or a grande mocha latte, a latte mocha. It is chocolate and vanilla, peoples. Kit to the cat. Get that back and get 44 on board and make them pull some strings again. Again. He didn't say for the first time. He said again, meaning that peoples, he got something on 44 that 44 don't want you to know. And maybe that's because of the raid to get rid of some evidence, peoples. I could possibly get rid of some evidence that he may have. Woo! Woo! Boy, look at here, peoples. I mean, that plot thickens and it gets so thick, just like Bisquick. Get 44 and tell him to do it again. Make some moves. Man, look at here, peoples. Boy, y'all not paying attention. Y'all need to listen to this because the evidence is in your face. Kit to the cat. And it ain't coming back. Let's go.
Make him pull some strings again, or else.
Prosecutors have drawn attention to instances where Diddy allegedly wielded this worm food.
Make him draw some strings again, or else. Peoples, I mean, that is literally a direct threat right there. No questions about it. I don't care how you look at it. That is a direct threat right there. Or else. Or else. People ain't breaking this thing down. I'm breaking it down, peoples, because I told you, you got to understand the symbols, the signs. There's significant information in the signs, peoples. You got to understand the symbols and the signs. And Diddy is breaking it down. Look, if you don't get me off, you're going down right with me. So pull your strings, brother. Pull your strings. And I think he's doing it because the DA had recused himself, peoples. And all of the leaks and stuff that's making this case weak, peoples. So the diddler is going to get off on a technicality. All of this stuff is going to go away. I'm seeing it. And Tisa Tells didn't tell you this. Edward Joseph did. Watch what's happening, peoples. I said, watch what's happening, peoples. Let's go.
To coerce or silence witnesses and associates. One report alleges he threatened to release recordings of private gatherings involving prominent figures if they failed to comply with his wishes. These purported recordings, rumored to document compromising activities at his notorious freak-off parties, have become a central element of the scandal. The potential existence of such material has fueled conjecture that many individuals remain silent out of fear of personal or professional damage. This could mean that the whole deal of worm food not only implicates Diddy in blackmail, but also shows how much influence he still has while being incarcerated. He could duck or maybe shut up if he is holding, like, some sort of threat over someone who would testify against him. It also adds on to the prosecution's contention that everything does not include basic legal tactics. This is something that really looks as if he would be purposely and manually trying to obstruct justice, which complicates his case further and undermines his credibility in the public eye.
Diddy had deals before to get his friends out of prison.
He got powerful people. One of his partners who started his company with money, President Obama, got him out of prison. So it's not like he don't have no moves.
The larger question is whether these allegations of blackmail inspire a loss of power and influence with regard to abuse in high-profile cases. If so, then it can be said that wealth and access to networks have been turned into weapons of self-defense against culpability. What's more, such a threat probably acts as a chilling effect on witnesses and victims, all of which creates a serious rupture in the entire legal process. These accusations about worm food are launched as a path to evidence that might be helpful in determining the extent of Diddy's actions and the impact they have on the battle he is up against legally and his public image as events proceed. Celebrities staying quiet. The tone of the call is combative, with Diddy portraying himself as someone backed into a corner, ready to retaliate with nothing to lose. His reference to Jay-Z as daddy might be a mocking term, suggesting tension or an attempt to undermine Jay-Z's confidence. The phrase, "you already ruined my name," implies that Diddy feels betrayed or wronged, blaming Jay-Z for tarnishing his reputation. Diddy's comments about Oprah staying quiet, Ellen moving to another country, and Leonardo DiCaprio being in Fiji suggest that he is leveraging the actions of high-profile figures to imply deeper, conspiratorial underpinnings. These statements are vague, but aim to portray Diddy as someone with insider knowledge or connections that bolster his claims of influence. The line, "You going against somebody who got nothing to lose and everything to gain," underscores Diddy's defiance and the notion that he is in a desperate position. This could be a veiled warning to Jay-Z, suggesting that Diddy might take drastic actions. The mention of bypassing modern communication with a letter on a bird adds a dramatic flair, emphasizing his resourcefulness and determination despite perceived setbacks. This call, whether factual or fabricated, fuels the narrative of escalating conflict and tension between two of the music industry's biggest icons, making it a compelling subtopic for your video. The fallout.
First of all, Puff, you need to watch your mouth. You know who you talking to? Second of all, this the that got you in the first place. You always think that you're bigger than what you really are. You need to stop trying to bite the hand that feeds you, and you wouldn't be in this position. And you don't got what you think you got.
These conversations, while unverified, have sparked intense public debate, offering a dramatic lens into the lives of two of music's most influential figures. For Diddy, the calls paint a picture of a man defiant in the face of legal and reputational collapse. His alleged use of coded language, manipulation of prison systems, and references to worm food hint at a deeper web of influence and control, even from behind bars. These behaviors, if true, challenge the integrity of the legal process and raise questions about the extent of his power. Meanwhile, his provocative statements targeting Jay-Z and other high-profile figures underscore a desperate attempt to shift blame and reclaim public sympathy. For Jay-Z, these calls present a crossroads. Whether he remains silent or addresses the allegations directly, his response could influence public perception of his role in this unfolding saga. The references to mutual betrayal and veiled threats suggest a complex history that only adds fuel to the speculation surrounding their relationship. As these calls continue to dominate headlines, they symbolize more than just a feud. They expose the volatile intersection of fame, power, and accountability. The fallout from this controversy will undoubtedly leave a lasting mark on both Diddy and Jay-Z's legacies, serving as a stark reminder of the precarious balance between influence and vulnerability in the public eye. Only time will reveal the full truth behind these explosive allegations. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to give this video a like, leave a comment with your thoughts, and hit that subscribe button for more updates on this case and other trending topics.
Well, peoples, no matter what you believe or how you believe or if you believe, the bottom line is simply this. There's something going down, peoples. I said there is something going down, peoples. There's something going down, and Jay-Z is trying to worm out of it. I said he's trying to worm out of it, people. So, woo-wee. Man, look at here. I got to spice up that video. And I got to make a short out of that. That's some powerful stuff right there. So Jay-Z just fired back and said, well, brother, man, you ain't got what you think you got. Meaning that during the raid, all of what Diddy thought that he got, he ain't got no more. People, don't think for one moment that Z-Man don't know what the government got. Z-Man got power and he has money And he has influence just like the Diddler. Remember, they're two ghetto boys from the hood. And they got into a position of power and fame, and they fed the appetite of the uppers. That's why all of the freak offs and things like that. Because all of these uppers had to be at the freak offs with all of the little unders and stuff, and you'll never know that they were there because nobody ever made mention to them. But I believe they were there. And that's why all of the inviting all of certain people in the industry so they can leverage their influence over them. Because the thing is this, peoples, if you didn't, if you was going to do things rightfully so in a respectable manner, there wouldn't be no reason why you would go ahead and record people doing some things. But you do that to blackmail the people. And that's what Jeffrey Epstein did as well. That's why a lot of Jeffrey Epstein tapes ain't going to see the light of day. And did ever the people who were abused in that case, did they ever get compensated? Well, Epstein is out of here because they was going to have him say no more, testify. The Diddler is playing it close to his vest because the Diddler ain't trying to get taken out of here. And so if they tried to do it by any other means other than the way that they're trying to do it now, then somebody has to go down for it. But the Diddler, he's smart because he ain't eating. I said the Diddler ain't eating peoples. And so since the Diddler ain't eating, he is literally, is in control because he's doing what he's supposed to do, is to protect himself and not try to protect others, peoples. Do you understand what I'm saying, peoples? The Diddler is protecting himself and not trying to protect others, peoples. Let's see what this man had to say, and then we're going to get off of here, peoples. I said we're going to get off of here. I'm going to cut this a little short early tonight, but before I do, let me play this. All right, quick. He tries to play like he did not know what the man was asking, but he knew exactly what the man was asking. And so let's take a look at this man right here. Let me rewind it back.
A lot of people are curious about the status of P. Diddy.
Status of what?
P. Diddy. Diddy.
The status of
What do you make of that situation? Right. No comment from Clive Davis. A lot of people are curious about the status of P. Diddy.
So Mr. Clive Davis ain't saying nothing about P. Diddy. And he wants to try to willed his age as to, oh, I don't know nothing about the diddler. Well, Clive, you do. I said you do, Clive. You know way more than what you are alluding to. He knows way more than what he's alluding to, Peoples. Mr. Clive Jive Davis. Let's listen to what this young lady had to say, Peoples.
America loves putting Black men in jail, even the famous ones. So for Diddy's indictment to take so long and for his enterprise to be protected, it begs the question, are there white millionaires puppeteering him who are really running this show and are the mastermind behind this? Clive Davis is a record producer who put Diddy on, taught him everything he knows, and there's rumors that they were in a relationship together. There is a tape of Clive Davis talking about how he's attracted to men. We know that Diddy has allegations of grooming and making famous men his boy toys. You would assume he learned that from somewhere. I think a lot of parallels can be drawn from the slave master buck breaking a slave, trying to dehumanize them and emasculate them, and then how Black masculinity can sometimes turn around and do the same thing to women. I think that there's some and even deeper, because Diddy obviously has a lot of allegations of abuse towards all genders. It does appear that he was brought up in an environment that catered to that. So again, I am wondering not just what Clive Davis taught him, like in the freak offs and the partying and the interpersonal relationships, but financially, because Clive Davis, I think, is also a lawyer, what he may have strung Diddy up in financially. Like, imagine who this man's friends are that maybe he is tied Diddy to in a way that he can't escape. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think this man would ever let this man go, no strings attached. And it's very possible that these like rich millionaire, billionaire, white men, Epstein level men have been able to use Diddy as like some sort of mask for their enterprise. Obviously, Diddy is guilty. I'm just saying, I am imagining that there's a lot of rich white men who are being more covered in what's happening right now. They're still in the shadows, but they very much could be guilty as well. Like, I just think there's this guy is not in jail right now. And that's weird to me. Do you know what I'm saying? I just think that this is probably a lot bigger than we even have any idea where it's going to go. Because I just think that this operation would not have been so protected for so long if there weren't a lot of like white millionaires involved, like pulling the strings. If Clive Davis is also a lawyer, he's going to tell Diddy how to do this in a smart way, and also probably hook him up with like those law enforcement government connections that keep people protected. And then people are saying like the first raid was the LAPD going and like getting evidence that would indict the government or like the police. I just don't think that there's any way that this could go on for so long with the law enforcement and government benefiting somehow. If homeboy is a lawyer and has been at this game of being both nasty and very financially wealthy, I don't know why I said financially wealthy. Wealthy would have covered that. I'm sure he set Diddy up in the same way, and the government and law enforcement was getting some sort of incentive to allow this to go on for so long. And I think it makes sense that like Clive Davis and his buddies, whoever these like faceless white millionaire billionaires are, can let some sort of trafficking go on under, of course, a Black music mogul. That it just seems like mastermind planning that is not just beginning and ending with this man, especially since he learned everything from this man.
And I couldn't have said it better myself, peoples. You have literally took the words out my mouth, and expressed it so eloquently to where even many of you can be able to understand. And peoples, I want you to see, look at the screenshot there of Diddy and Clive, but it's all jive. But now Edward Joseph has arrived. And I'm going to break this down like I always do, peoples. Well, peoples, this is the end of my journey on today. 2 hours and 49 minutes. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Christmas. Eat me some more gumbo, drink me some more wine. It's taking this effect right now and stuff. And so, you know, I'm not a drinker, but I mean, a little glass of wine, hey. And so now it's taking its effect, people. So it's, you know, I don't want to get on here and start slurring my speech and things of that nature. But yeah. Fermented grapes that's all wine is fermented grapes, peoples. And so, you know, you can add a little bit of lemon, lime to it, or orange juice or whatever to kind of change it and diffuse the taste a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's still wine. Or you can just drink it just as is. Well, wine ain't nothing but fermented grapes. And so whether you like the taste or whether you don't, hey, I got me just a little glass of dark, kind of like a reddish cherry or a blackberry color, you know, dark wine. And so it tastes good. You know, I'm going to consume the rest of it and lay down and watch a movie and just enjoy this day. And I want to wish my beloved mother who's in heaven happy heavenly Merry Christmas. She died on this day. And so I'm not saddened, peoples. I'm happy because I have lived the legacy and went on and did what she would have done on this day. And that is cook some gumbo and make everybody happy. And so that's what I'm doing, people. So I cooked the gumbo. I'm going to restock it tomorrow for the rest of my family and things that's coming down. And just going to enjoy this season. So Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. I'm not going to say Happy New Year's yet because it ain't New Year's yet. I don't want that to come quickly. But Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. And I pray that the Lord has blessed each and every one of you in a manner to which, you know, you see fit. And so if you got something, that's good. If you didn't get anything, well, then be good next time. And maybe Santa Claus will come to your town. So peoples, I hope I had said something to encourage your hearts upon today. Tune in again next time to Edward Joseph Let's Talk Live. Edward Joseph Kitchen, Edward Joseph Gospel Hour, Edward Joseph's Blessings Giveaway 2024 will come to you with something wonderful. I love you with the love of Christ, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Peoples, mask up and be safe. And again, peoples, Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. Thank you to my supporters. Thank you to my new subscribers. And thank you to my moderators. Jenna, to you, blessings to you, ma'am. Merry Christmas to you and your family again. And to all, a good night. God bless you all. Thank you for watching.